That was pretty good. Let's try that again. Wow, it's PAX East 2017. That one wasn't as much you as it was me, so I'm sorry. One more time. Wow! It's PAX East 2017! Much better. Wow, first let me introduce myself. My name is Krenshaw. I was born a few months ago. I used to be a frog. See, I started out as an egg, then became a tadpole, and then a frog, and then the next thing the frogs become is me. I don't know why most frogs don't decide to become me, but oh well, here I am, and I'm growing every single day. I feed off of your words and stories, so I wanted to come to PAX to see some cool video games and learn how to become a better person. Hey, I asked my friends to come to this panel, so I'm so glad they could join me. Here they are. Jonathan Holmes. He writes for Destructoid, Nintendo Force, and is an all-around cool dude.
Thanks, Krenshaw. That's nice.
Nick Murray. He really likes mozzarella sticks and learning more about mozzarella sticks. He's also one of the fantastic people that work at Harmonix, who make games like Rock Band, Dance Central, and Amplitude. Carl Adams. You may have seen his work on Adult Swim, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, and all sorts of good stuff. Sean Baptiste. Sean is a very nice guy who works at Adult Swim Games. He also has a show on AdultSwim.com every afternoon called Lunchtime Games. Will Riley. He's one of the developers of Soda Drinker Pro, Billion Black, and his latest game, Bobby Throne Saves the World. And he's also kind of like my dad. So now that you know everyone who's here, there's something very important to know. No one on this panel has any idea what I'm going to say. We have no idea where this will go, what will happen, or anything else. Hopefully, my mind doesn't break. Here's how it's all going to work. I'm going to ask everyone on the panel some questions. We'll share some stories, memories, dreams, bricks, candy, snakes, parachutes, flowers, and maybe some other things. We'll play some games, and if we have time, I might even be able to take some questions from you, the audience. So, let's get started.
Here we go.
Hey, Jonathan, this is my question for you.
Yes, Krenshaw.
If your mind was an island, what would it look like?
My mind was an island. It would be filled with Studio Ghibli movies. There'd be a corner for David Cronenberg to like work out his issues, and a lot of couches.
I'd like to hear more.
More. There would be. You would be there. There'd be sports.
Sure! This is my question. What would you say you bring most to friendship?
Oh man.
What do I bring most of? You're farting right now. That is, I don't understand. Love.
Thanks for sharing. Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Oh, I know. Hey,
You're a great friend, Sean.
And
Yeah, my friend.
Carl!
Yeah, great job.
What laws completely baffle you?
What was it?
What laws completely baffle you?
Oh man. Yep.
That's cool.
More?
Yeah.
Man. What laws?
There's some old blue laws, like
Yeah, Massachusetts has a lot of
cats
laws.
at midnight or something.
Like so, I'm gonna be better next time.
Hey, Will, this is the question.
what?
Tell me about when you were most yourself.
The second I was born, I went from not being myself, and then I just appeared, and it's kind of like that.
I'd love to learn more about what you're saying.
Well, one day when I was born on October 30th, it was the day before Halloween, and I was a little baby. So because it was Halloween, I came out as a pumpkin, and there I was.
Hey, Nick, here's the question.
Yeah? Krenshaw? Hello? Krenshaw?
Hey, Johnny.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh no, I missed that question.
Do you have any controversial opinions?
Depends on who you ask, sure. I think that pineapple on pizza is
Well,
good.
that's interesting. Please continue talking.
Sure. I think that a lot of people seek out controversial situations in order to signal boost their own opinions, but when you dig deep into it, they sometimes don't care. They're just bored on the internet.
Wow.
Try to get attention. Bored.
Hey, John!
Yeah.
What is the biggest lie that you tell yourself?
The biggest lie that I tell myself? Oh God, that everything's going to be okay.
Keep talking.
This is what keeps me up at night, Krenshaw. This is getting into, we're not close enough friends to really be going into this just yet. I gotta be honest with you. But yeah, that's the one.
Hey, Carl! See what you think of this one. What's the strangest date that you've ever been on?
Oh man. Strangest date was somebody who showed up and she was already so drunk. I said hi and she just started throwing up.
That's cool. More about what you just said.
Yeah, evidently she had a problem. And I was an enabler that night.
Hey, Will! You know what I'd really like to know?
What?
What are you awesome at?
I don't know. Canoeing. I like canoeing.
You're kidding.
Oh, wonderful. Tell me more about that.
Well, one of my favorite things is solo canoeing, and that's pretty fun. I don't know if I'm awesome at it, but I love doing it.
Hey, Nick! Well, here's a question. What's one thing that you're deeply proud of, but would never put on a resume?
These are tough.
My skills at LinkedIn are pretty good. They don't put that on my resume, but I love LinkedIn. It's a good social network.
Hey, what do you know? That's cool. Keep talking.
Like LinkedIn is,
It's a real life. It's really a resume.
yeah, it is a resume. resume. I don't put LinkedIn on my resume because it's my resume. Yeah.
It's like a mirror hold up to a mirror. What do you see? Just a mirror.
I mean,
Hey, Jonathan, you know what I'd really like to know?
Sure. What's that?
Who is your favorite entertainer in the world?
Oh, that's tough. I just saw Get Out. It's a horror movie, written and directed by Jordan Peele, and it really has upped my respect for Jordan Peele. I already liked him a lot, but now I'm really kind of in awe of what he managed to pull off.
That's cool. This story is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good movie, Krenshaw. I don't know if you would relate to it though. It's about a very unique experience some folks have had, and not sure if you've been there yet, but you never know.
Oh, Sean!
Hey,
A
Krenshaw.
question. Do you have any secrets?
He keeps getting personal with you.
Do I have any secrets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have shitloads of secrets. I have almost nothing but secrets. If we're really gonna get down to it, Krenshaw, tons of secrets. A treasure trove of secrets.
That's cool. You don't know what I'm on about it.
He wants to hear more about this.
Yeah.
Some people I do tell these secrets to. Very few people. That's why they're secrets.
Yeah. You're
And there are 600 people.
Let's play a game of word association. I'll say some words, and then you say the first thing that comes to your head. Ready? Let's go. Hey, Nick.
hey, Crenshaw.
Character.
Mozzarella.
Hey, Sean. Energy.
Fire.
Carl. Cabbage.
Soup.
Well, bassoon.
C clef.
Hey, Nick. Diploma.
Didn't get one.
Jonathan. Digital.
Eclipse.
Hey, Sean. Draft.
War.
Hey, Carl. Dungeon.
Cave.
Hey, Will.
Dragons.
Coin.
Coin.
Yeah.
Boys.
Coin.
Oh,
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Cottage.
Cottage cheese.
Hey, Sean. Yeah.
Oh my God. Bad.
Hey, Will.
What?
Currency.
What? You keep on saying coin stuff. This is
Hey, Nick. Domain.
Coins.
Jonathan. Description.
I feel so
Hey,
troubled.
Sean. Child.
I don't have one.
Hey, Carl.
Yep.
Bee.
Bees?
Hey, Will.
What?
Covered.
Covered kitchen.
Hey, yeah. Channel. Hey, Jonathan. What the fuck is Hey, Sean. Can you share with me a true story?
Oh, we want the true story. Okay, well, we're done.
Can you make sure that it's about a bar? Now begin.
True story about a bar.
A true story about a bar. Let's see. There's so many times I blacked out in a bar. I wish I remembered any of those stories. This is a long time to talk. Let's see. Story about
Just 3 minutes.
bar.
First
Okay.
story.
So one time I went to this. I was out with a friend, and it was actually here in Boston, and we went to the theater district, and we went to one of the bars in the theater district, and I was fairly new to drinking, not terribly new, but new enough. And I was like, I could probably put back a bunch of martinis. And I did, and then I was trying to play it off really nonchalant, like, oh no, I'm gonna be real cool about this. And I was like, I'm gonna be back in a second, I just gotta go to the bathroom. And the bathroom is in the basement. And I just, oh no, this isn't gonna go to a real dark place. Don't worry about it. So I go down into the, okay, so at any rate, I go down into the bathroom, And I'm like, just like on the toilet, just not like, I'm just trying to gather myself, be like, all right, play it cool, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be really cool, you're gonna be really cool, you're gonna be really... 45 minutes later, my friend's like, I just hear like a knock on the door and it's pitch black in the bathroom because the motion detector has like just stopped doing like the like allowing the light and it's like waiting for me to move. And I just hear, so I wake up, drunk as shit on a toilet, in pitch black. And the only reason I woke up is because my friend is outside of the bathroom going, Sean! Sean? Sean! Which is the most terrifying thing ever. It's a good thing I was already on the toilet, because otherwise I definitely would have shit myself. So,
I must say I enjoyed that story very much.
Thank you, Krenshaw.
Thank you. Hey, Carl! Tell me a story. The story has to be 2 minutes long. I think it should probably be inspired by a balcony.
Inspired by what?
Yeah.
A balcony? Okay, yeah, I actually do have one.
Inspired by it.
I was at the Montreal Knock the Laughs Comedy Festival, and I was there to scout talent. And it was like the third day, and I was tired, and I just said, my pen just blew up on my hand, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to do any more of this. And it was about 12 o'clock at night. There were a couple parties. I went to some parties. I went back to the hotel around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I look in the mirror, and I had ink all over my face. That was there the whole night. Then I went back and I started thinking about all the people, and then I realized that I had been interviewed by some local cable TV, and I got the TV, and yep, I looked like the old president of Russia.
They didn't tell you?
That
No one told me.
was just good.
Oh, it was on the balcony.
Tell me, interesting story. The story has to be 3 whole minutes. Can you make sure the story to include a cocktail? Start now.
Let's see. A cocktail. So, one of my favorite cocktails is just Four Loko. And I was in Florida once, and I was at a party with my wife's mom was the guidance counselor at the high school we went to. We didn't date in high school, but we met later on. And so we got to go to Florida, and my wife's mom was having this party, and it was all old teachers from the high school that I went to. And so I went there, and I was like, partying with all my old teachers, and it was really interesting and fun. But the neat thing was, I think in Massachusetts, I don't really have any Four Locos anymore, but they made them like illegal because you're not supposed to drink 1,000 of them or something. And so you couldn't get the real Four Locos, but in Florida you could. And so I bought 3 or 4 of them, and I brought them to this party because I knew it was going to be all my old teachers. And I'm like, I'm going to drink Four Locos with the old teachers. And so I did. And they were like, what are those nice drinks? I'm like, it's a Four Loko. They're like, what's that? It's like, well, it's like drinking a Red Bull with like a bunch of other stuff in it. And they were like, oh, that's nice. I'm like, the really neat thing is they don't sell them in Massachusetts because it's illegal, but in Florida you can. It was just like this really heartwarming story about Four Locos.
Sharing yourself and your stories with me.
Thanks, Krenshaw.
Thanks
for listening.
Hey, Nick.
Oh, what's up?
To tell me a story. I need your story to be 3 whole minutes. Maybe it should be about a dud. Time to begin.
What? A dud?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Relationship that was bad.
It wasn't bad,
Just say that at the end. Tell the story.
but this is a dud of a story. There was plenty of times where I almost ruined relationships for being very drunk, and that is the dub of my life of getting drunk at parties. What is that car?
Whoa.
What kind of car is?
His Uber arrived.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of car that is.
Yeah.
He's making lots of.
Yeah.
This is a very dumb story.
Very interesting story.
That was good.
Yes, he did. I'm not a good storyteller. But
Oh, hey, Jonathan, I'd like you to tell me a story. Now, I need this to be 3 whole minutes.
Oh,
Isn't it nice?
It should be about a basketball. How to this?
Wow, a story where the star of the story is a basketball. Well, sure. I've always enjoyed the basketball for its lines. I think that in terms of a decorative ball, it's got a little more going for it than the baseball, which is just kind of sewn. Like that's its trick. It's like we sued this up with a basketball. It's sort of like an alien planet. You can look at a basketball and think about things other than basketball, which I really like. I never want to think about basketball in Krenshaw, never. It's really painful for you to bring up basketball, actually. I'm trying to get through this. When I was in high school, me and my friends hated basketball so much that we made up a new basketball where all you do is hug. So we ran out on the court and we're like, who's got the ball? And the guy would have it. He'd be like, I do. And then we just hug him. And the principal would come out and be like, no touching. Boys not touching boys. And we'd be like, why not? He hated us a lot. And we graduated and ended up, yeah, he probably did. He was so mad at us that he wanted to, you could tell he was holding a lot in. And when he wanted to kill us, he would go like this.
are you sure you wanted to kill you?
Well, he once said, see that table over there? If we could just put a grenade under that table, everything would be good in the school after that. So this is why I got my D's. Like, I was sure no one was rooting for me in the school system, so I gave up before I even tried.
You needed a hug.
And yet, I mean, he sure did need a hug.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that story with me.
Right on. That's a really good story.
Oh, sure. Can you weave a tale? Make sure your story is 2 minutes long. Maybe it should be about a cufflink start.
Oh my god, so I really feel like Krenshaw's starting to get into my soul. Because just recently, I don't wear button-down shirts a lot, but after I got married, which was 5 years ago, for that wedding I had French cuffs. And French cuffs are what you need if you want to have cufflinks, like you don't want them and everything. And then I found out there's this whole world of collecting cufflinks. Like cufflinks there's a shitload of cufflinks out there. They're literally everywhere. There's like tons and tons of cufflinks, all sorts of different styles. At the airport here in Atlanta, which I at all the time, that's where I work, but there's a vending machine that just sells cufflinks.
Wow.
Like in the airport. Right next to it is a thing that sells like a portable battery for your phone. And then next to it is cufflinks. Just cufflinks. Oh wait, no, they do sell like 2 bow ties in it. It's a very specific vending machine that if it was Japan, I'd be like, yeah, all right. But it's Atlanta. Very confusing. And do you know how hard it is to buy a French cuff shirt? Not easy.
Does anybody have a cufflink on right now?
Any cufflinks in the audience?
Who's the fancy dresser?
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Thank you for the wonderful story.
You're welcome.
Let's see.
Hey, Carl! Tell me a story. I want it to be 2 minutes long. It should be inspired by a card. Start
A card?
now.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Card?
Greeting card, maybe?
Ace of Spades?
Yeah. It could be a Garbage Pail Kid.
Actually, here's a different card. I was in New York and I went by the Letterman show, and we were waiting out front, and someone said, hey, you want to take us to the Letterman show? I said I did, and then I got talking. We're there super early. We got talking, and the guy that does the card, yep. I got talking to him, and I asked him. I said, is there any chance at all that I could kind of do some of the cards, even for the opening monologue? And he said, no.
That would be awesome.
But halfway through, after the second break, the guy said, do you want to do a couple? And I said, yeah. And I went down there, and Letterman was a little confused, and I held a couple of cards, and went, and I'll tell you what, it's a little bit more nerve-wracking than you would think.
Wow, that's scary. So how do they know when to turn it?
Because they have a script right there on the
Oh, wow, that's complicated. That's great.
It is a little complicated. Also a little bit archaic, too.
Yeah.
Cards.
Yeah. They should just use the Krenshaw.
Sharing that story with me.
Oh, you're welcome, Krenshaw. So bizarre.
Well, I would like you to tell me a story. The story should be 2 minutes long. This time it should be inspired by a crackers start.
Well, I can tell you a story about crackers. When I was young, my favorite toy was a gingerbread cracker, or graham cracker carving machine. And it looked like a gingerbread man, and he had a belly button on it. And this is probably like the least kid-safe toy in the world. It was basically a piece of metal that just spun. And it was like as if your belly button had a piece of metal coming out of it that has like sharp, jagged edges that spins. And you use it to carve pieces of graham cracker. And I also used regular crackers, and I would make shapes out of them and make flowers and designs, and there were stencils. It was a wonderful toy. So Krenshaw, if you ever have a baby, I think you should get a little, graham cracker machine for your little kid. Oh, is this your baby here? No, that's something else.
Thank you. That was a good story.
Oh, okay.
That looked like her.
Hey, yeah, I would like you to tell me a story. Now, can you make sure that it is 3 whole minutes?
That's a long
time.
I love when people ask you to time a story.
About a departure. It all leads up to this.
Yeah.
So, I never traveled internationally before, and then one time for work they made me travel to Germany, and there was a layover in Switzerland, and I had no idea that the trams between where I needed to go get my baggage in Switzerland, they would play music and sounds that sounded like the fields of Switzerland. So I was sitting in the subway and minding my own business, listening to nice tunes, and you would just hear cows moo. And then you would see a big picture of a cow that is animating as you're going by, going brrrr. Then you're like, that was weird, and you're tired as all hell because you're having a layover in Switzerland. And you're like, okay, that just happened. And then you're, bah! And then you look up and you see the sheep approaching, and then you hear it again. And yeah, that's my story about departures, is I really wanted to depart Switzerland very quickly.
I wonder how you feel about this. That's how you felt about virtual cows. Then this must be a real
I
life.
don't know who his friend is.
That's Bobby Throne, actually.
Jonathan,
Oh, hi, Krenshaw.
to tell me a story, it should be 3 minutes long. I think it should probably be inspired by a culture. Begin.
A story about a culture. 3-minute story about a culture.
Stand up and walk around.
Should I stand up and walk? That's tempting. If I had a handheld mic, I would do that. I feel like PAX has an amazing culture. I've been coming here for a few years now, and people who hate me online, and there's a lot of them. They'll come up to me at PAX and be like, hey, Jonathan Holmes, you said a dumb thing once. I'll be like, I did, I'm sorry. And they'll be like, you don't hate me? I'm like, no, of course not. I'm sorry I screwed up and I said dumb thing. They're like, I'm sorry I said you were dumb. I'm Do you want to hug me right now? And we like constant hugs. It happens every year at PAX.
And then your basketball coach came.
Well, if you're on the internet a lot, you interact with people who are bored, who are look at all those pianos. They are looking for stimulation. They can't get it easily without conflict. So there's a lot of conflict stirring on the internet. Internet culture can be pretty ugly. PAX is where these people on the internet, where you have this somewhat lean towards conflict culture, come together to be friends. I made so many friends out of people who hated my guts like the year before, who only knew me on the internet. We're buddies now. So PAX makes video game people come together and be happy.
Thank you. I've enjoyed your story very much.
A little bit.
He's just
Oh,
thinking.
Sean! Oh, can you tell me the story? Can you make it 3 minutes long? And I would like it to be about a bee. Start now.
About a bee?
I'm so grateful for
I
the
do.
call.
I have a good one. I have a good one. Well, we got 3 minutes here, so we might both get a chance to talk about it. So it's related to bee because it was a hornet. This is the thing that my brother thinks is the funniest thing that's ever happened to him because it happened to me, and he got to enjoy my misfortune. I was like, kid, I think I was probably like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, and we had a hornet's nest on the front of our house in the porch, on the outside of the porch, and we had like a little balcony. It was like, you know, out there, like steps that led up to it. So, in a brilliant move to try to save my mom some money, I was like, I'll take care of this thing. And I went and I got some of the spray, and I like went to go do it, and at that moment, like, all the hornets came out. And I was standing on the balcony when it happened, and one of them, like, they just start flying at me, and one of them just goes,
What?
oh no, up my nose, as if it thought my head was the nest, and it was trying to get back in there.
This is the first good story.
And this little piece, he just jumps up there, like, shake, like I could feel the butt, like the stick, like that part, like shaking, like he's trying to like squeeze himself up there, like, oh, this hole's smaller than before, and he's trying to get up there, and I'll jump off the balcony or off this so you can see, but so my brother was standing on the ground because I think probably deep down inside he knew this was going to go wrong in the first place, and he just wanted to be there for it, but I made this face. I think I also went, and to this day, he will not shut up about it. No, eventually, like, when I landed, I think I, like, felt like stop, drop, and roll situation. Because that's, I think, the only emergency I knew how to handle. And it took off. I think I realized it was like, this is definitely not a nest. It didn't sting my face. Wow. Somehow I got away without a sting. But nightmares for the rest of my life. So, and I'm passing them along to you and to Krenshaw.
Wow. That was a good story.
You're damn right it was.
Hey, Carl. I would love it if you shared a story. Can you make it 3 whole minutes? Can you make sure it's about a campaign? Time to
Campaign?
begin.
Oh dear, campaign. Oh, I know. This is not a 3-minute story, it's like a 30-second story. When I was in 4th grade, I ran for treasurer, and I was getting beat badly. It was a 3-day election, and I went to, it wasn't CVS, it was like a Cumberland Farms type thing. Got lollipops, got some masking tape, and wrote "Vote for Carl" on all of it. Landslide.
Thank you for sharing that story with me.
Well,
Hey, Will!
What?
Oh, can you tell me the story? Make sure the length of your story.
I love how you ask me the length.
This time it should be inspired by a psycho. You know?
Psycho.
Like, listen.
All right. So, there's a guy who calls every day at around 8:23, pretty much on the dot. And he says, "Hi, you all there?" I go, yeah, what's happening?" And he just, first he'll list the alphabet, and then after that, he'll list numbers, and sometimes he'll list states, and, various nouns and verbs and things like that. And so every day around this time it happens, and a large amount of that time I record it, and
So it's weird.
then I take the snippets of the audio and put them together, and that's a little bit how Krenshaw was born. Or maybe not, you never know.
I appreciate you sharing yourself and your stories with me.
Thank you.
Hey Nick, can you share a story with me? The story has to be 3 minutes long. This time, it should be about a draft. Start
A
draft.
draft.
Draft. Hasn't been a draft in years.
A drafty day.
Yeah, it could be a draft of a paper you wrote.
Right, a lot of goddamn emails I never send, and a lot of them are just gibberish in reply to our weekly food lunch emails that are just